And joining me now via Zoom in Lagos to discuss proper mental health care is a mental health life coach, Walter Samuel. Good to have you join us. So basically, we're all reeling from the effects of the pandemic. People have lost jobs, businesses, and loved ones. So we're all finding ways to cope. And I want to begin from where I was talking to my guest earlier about coping mechanism, and I want to talk to you about that because it seems to be what everyone is doing right now, trying to cope. Talk to us about that and just a general impact on the mental health.
Okay, first, I will talk about the coping mechanism when it has to do with internal coping. You know, there are 3 levels of mental health coping mechanisms like you're talking about. So we have self-help, we have seeking help, and first of all, we even have recognition. So if you're not even able to recognize that you are having some challenges, you're having a lot of stressors around the environment, there are things that are going which you will need some help, then that's a big problem. The second thing is you want to be able to see if you have the capacity to help yourself. Now, a lot of times it's when people are not able to help themselves that they begin to seek for access to help. And now access to help comes at different levels, from the levels of, let's say, family. Family is supposed to provide one of the strongest support during those kind of periods. But sometimes, especially in our climes, it's a bit challenging for a lot of people to find that help in family, where there's a lot of stigma around saying you're having some challenges, upstairs. People feel, oh, something is wrong with you. And so people prefer to hide, go into isolation and begin to involve themselves in some practices that might be harmful to their overall health generally. And so the first thing is to understand the dimensions of coping. How are you coping with this? Are you coping at the recognition level? Are you coping at the self-help level? Or are you coping at the level of wanting to seek someone to help you?
So let's just even look at the basic thing, which is about the basic things. How do we take care of our mental health? Because we just talked about coping. You talked about recognition, which seems to be quite positive. I mean, you know that there is a problem. But sometimes we don't even know that we have become numb to situations around us because we're trying to cope. How do we take care of our mental health so we don't get to a point of mental breakdown?
All right, the first thing, like I said, is awareness. It's awareness, and that's why a day like this is very important to look at awareness, especially, like they say, in an unequal world. And when you look at that, you realize that a lot of people, because of the challenges, there are a lot of challenges, whether it's economic, whether it's, family system, whether it's insecurity and many things, it makes the focus, even the pandemic, it makes the focus of life to be about survival and not about how people can thrive. And when people are buried in the game of survival, it's difficult for them to become aware of mental health issues. And that's why the first step for us to take at the level of recognition, which is the fact that we want to make people aware that, see, when you are going through a lot of stress, when you are going through a lot of events in your life, maybe at work, maybe at home, maybe as a little child in the family, and where you're finding yourself anxious, not being able to function at an optimum level, then it's important for you to begin to consider speaking to someone, maybe a family member, or seeking the help of a professional.
Thank you so much for talking to us. My one key takeaway from you is the fact that you respond in a particular way to something doesn't make it normal. You have to speak up and get help. Thank you so much for talking to us. Mental health life coach, Walter Samuel.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and do have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too.